Sam Reeves, our team's digital forensics expert, began the most detailed analysis of the video. Sam had trained in deepfake detection and video manipulation analysis while working at FBI laboratories. "David, this video is interesting," Sam said after the initial examination. "At first glance it looks real, but when I examine it frame by frame, there are several anomalies." Sam showed me the screen. The video played frame by frame. The victim was walking down the hallway. Frames 1, 2, 3. Everything normal. Then in frame 23, a slight blur began around the victim. In frame 24, the blur intensified. In frame 25, the victim completely disappeared and was replaced by pixel distortion. In frame 26, the distortion vanished and the hallway was empty. "Now watch carefully," Sam said. "The transition between frame 24 and frame 25 is very sharp. In a normal camera glitch, the corruption would be smoother, progressive. But here, it's like two different video pieces have been spliced together." Sam performed another analysis. Pixel-level examination. Every pixel of every frame was scrutinized. "Here, there's a synchronization problem between the background and foreground," Sam said. "After the victim disappears, the background lighting changes, just milliseconds, but it changes, like an image from a different time slice has been pasted in." "So the video is edited?" I asked. "Not just edited, very sophisticated editing. With 2026 technology, deepfake and AI video generation are highly advanced. Now you can create videos that are almost indistinguishable from reality, but small errors still remain. This video carries those errors." Sam made a comparison. Real camera glitches versus this video's distortion, side by side. Real glitches create random noise patterns, but the distortion in this video is very orderly, algorithmic, like it was generated by software. Elena interjected. "Sam, who could make this video? What level of technical knowledge is required?" Sam thought. "Advanced video editing skills, deepfake software knowledge, and access to security camera systems, all three together." "And the victim's profile?" I asked. Elena opened the file. The victim was a software engineer, specifically worked on video compression and rendering algorithms. Company name, TechVision Labs. "So the victim knew these kinds of technologies," I said. "But why would they create their own disappearance video? Like some kind of suicide?" Marcus shook his head. "Or someone used the victim's knowledge to make this video. Someone who had access to the victim's computer, their software. Elena, investigate TechVision Labs, the victim's co-workers, projects, any recent disputes. And Sam, you examine the victim's personal computer. Maybe we'll find something there." Did this story make you think? What do you think about digital manipulation? How much can we trust recorded reality now? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if these kinds of in-depth digital crime stories interest you, don't forget to subscribe to Dark Case Files. See you in the next case. The missing witness case revealed one of the darkest dangers of the digital age. Distinguishing truth from lies is becoming increasingly difficult. Security cameras, photographs, videos, none are absolute evidence. All can be manipulated. The victim became a victim of their own field of expertise. They worked on video technologies, and in the final irony, video technology was used to cover up their murder. The CEO thought they had made a perfect plan. The temporal anomaly story distracted everyone. While millions of people generated science fiction theories, the real killer hid in the shadows. But in the end, digital forensics prevailed. Sam's detailed analysis, Elena's research, Marcus's psychological profile, all came together and revealed the truth. I'm David Harrington. I've been doing this work for 24 years, and this case taught me that technology is both a tool and a weapon. We can use it to solve crimes, but criminals can also use it to commit crimes. It's an arms race, and our duty is to be on the side of justice in that race. So what should the public do? I asked. How can ordinary people tell if videos are real? Sam answered. Critical thinking. Question everything. If a video seems too strange, too perfect, or too coincidental, there's probably a problem. Do source research. Who uploaded it? Where did it come from? What's the context? And most importantly, don't immediately believe everything that goes viral. The case closed, but bigger questions remained. Sam had a final meeting with me. David, this case showed that we can no longer trust our eyes. Video evidence, photo evidence, all can be manipulated. In 2026, deepfake technology has advanced so much that distinguishing real from fake is nearly impossible. So what's the solution? I asked. Multi-layered verification. You won't just trust the video. You'll check metadata, verify sources, cross-reference, and most importantly, you'll question everything. Marcus added, this case also demonstrated a psychological weapon. The perpetrator created an impossible story, temporal anomaly, and people believed it, because people love unexplainable things. Conspiracy theories, paranormal events, science fiction, these attract attention. But the truth is usually much simpler. Human nature, greed, anger, fear. Elena shared her research. After this case, TechVision Labs shut down. Investors pulled out. The company's technology came under ethical review. But other companies continue developing similar technologies. This is just the beginning. So we'll see more cases like this in the future, I said. Sam nodded. Probably. As technology advances, criminals will use that technology. Our job is to stay one step ahead of them. The trial process began. The CEO was charged with first-degree murder and evidence tampering. The jury found them guilty. Sentence: life imprisonment. The victim's family finally found closure. For 6 months, they hadn't known what happened to their son. Now they had answers. Justice had been served. The CEO was taken into custody. Initially denied everything. I didn't do it. There's no evidence, they said. But Sam's digital forensics report showed their computer had accessed the security system that night. Elena's cabin records proved the CEO had been there the night of the disappearance. Marcus's psychological profile revealed the CEO's motive and character. And most importantly, the victim's body had been found. The prosecution prepared a strong case. The CEO finally confessed on their attorney's advice, accepted a plea bargain for a reduced sentence. In the confession, they said, they threatened me, threatened to destroy the company. I worked for years, risked everything. They were going to come and ruin it all. I couldn't accept it. That night, I texted them, said, let's talk. We met outside their building. We talked in the parking garage. We argued. And I lost control in anger. Then I panicked. Didn't know what to do with the body. But then it came to me, my company's technology. If I manipulate the security footage, I can make it look like they were never there. And better yet, if I create a temporal anomaly story, everyone will focus on science fiction theories. No one will say murder. That night, I went to the office, hacked into the security system, edited the footage, created the victim's disappearance video. It was perfect. The internet believed it. Even the police initially said technical malfunction. But you questioned it and found everything. Marcus warned, David, if we're right, the CEO is dangerous. They've killed once, they could do it again. That's why we're not going alone. We'll coordinate with the FBI. We reached an agreement with the local FBI office. They obtained a legal warrant. We got permission to raid the cabin. The next morning, a team went to the cabin. Sam and I went with the FBI's technical support team. The cabin was deep in the forest. Single-story, old structure. Inside was empty. Minimal furniture. No one was living there. But there was a basement. The basement door was locked. The FBI team forced it open. Inside was a frozen storage area, a deep freezer, and inside, the victim's body. Sam analyzed the original security camera footage more deeply. David, I looked at this video's metadata. The file was modified a few hours after the recording date, so someone edited the video after recording. Who edited it? I checked the access logs. That night at 2:30 a.m., there was remote access to the building's security system. The IP address from TechVision Labs' office. The CEO. Not directly from their computer, but from the office network. Someone was at the office that night and hacked into the building's system. Elena investigated the building's security company. David. Interesting detail. Midtown Manor's security system was a pilot program for TechVision Labs. So the company had chosen this building to test their own technology, and the company had full access to the system. Everything was connecting. Marcus drew the perpetrator's psychological profile. The CEO shows narcissistic personality traits, obsessed with their own success, intolerant of others challenging them. The victim challenged them, and the CEO couldn't accept it. But the CEO didn't just commit a crime, Sam said. They executed a perfect cover-up plan, physically eliminated the victim, then manipulated the digital evidence, and with the temporal anomaly story directed everyone's attention elsewhere. So where's the victim's body, I asked. Elena shared her research. The CEO has a cabin outside the city, upstate New York, a wooded area, remote, isolated. We need to go there, I said. Elena conducted detailed research on TechVision Labs. The company was a startup working on video technologies and artificial intelligence, founded in 2023, growing rapidly. Investors had poured in millions of dollars. The victim held a senior developer position at the company, specifically working on a real-time video manipulation project. This technology could instantly modify live video streams, add effects, potential applications, film industry, live broadcasts, security systems. David, there's an interesting point here, Elena said. 3 weeks before the victim disappeared, they had a major argument with the company's CEO. It's in the Human Resources report. Topic: ethical violation. What kind of ethical violation? The victim claimed the technology the company was developing was being used to manipulate security camera footage and objected to it, reported it to the CEO. The CEO said, "This is just a demo," and closed the matter. But the victim didn't accept that. I said, "No." The victim said they would report it to an external ethics commission, and also mentioned some financial irregularities at the company. Marcus added, so the victim had information that could put the company at risk and was threatening to disclose it. There's motive, I said. So who's the CEO? Elena showed the CEO's profile. 38 years old, an aggressive businessman, had previously founded other startups, sold them all, made millions. TechVision Labs was his biggest project. If the victim dragged the company into scandal, investors would pull out. The company would collapse. Sam, what did you find on the victim's computer? I asked. Sam returned. A lot. On the victim's personal computer, there are files copied from the company's internal systems, emails, financial documents, and video files. What kind of videos? Demo videos, made with the company's technology. Look, Sam played a video. It was security camera footage. A man was exiting a bank. Then suddenly, the man disappeared. Same distortion effect. Then a different man appeared. What is this? I asked. Face swap. Real time. The company's technology can completely replace one person with another person in live security camera footage. And while doing it, it uses that anomaly effect to distract attention. Elena asked in shock. So the company is developing technology to manipulate security cameras? Yes, and the victim was threatening to expose it. Then the motive for murder is clear, I said. The victim had to be silenced, and the way to cover up the murder? Use the company's own technology. The victim's disappearance through temporal anomaly was actually a digital illusion. Marcus's words echoed what had been going through my mind. This was a crime, and the perfect cover-up for a crime was making everyone search for an impossible explanation. Sam, analyze this video, I said. Every frame, every pixel, every distortion. Let's figure out if it's real or fake. The security camera footage leaked to the internet. We don't know who leaked it. Maybe one of the building staff. maybe someone from the police department. But once it hit the internet, it became uncontrollable. The video went viral. TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, everywhere. Millions of views, and the theories started. Matrix glitch, temporal anomaly, quantum shift, parallel universe transition. The internet flooded with science fiction theories. Some made serious claims. Maybe there really had been a time distortion. Maybe the victim had crossed into another dimension. Physicists debated in forums. Was there such a thing as a localized temporal distortion? Theoretically, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, the space-time fabric bends, deforms. But in an apartment hallway, at such a specific point? Not impossible, but extremely unlikely. Conspiracy theorists said secret technology. Maybe it was a classified government project. Maybe the victim had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. But when I first watched the video with my team, I thought something different. Elena Cortez, our team researcher, compiled the online theories. David, this video exploded on the internet. 50 million views, people from everywhere generating theories. But there's something that caught my attention. What is it? I asked. None of these theories answer a simple question. Why? She was right. Everyone had focused on the how question, but no one had asked why. If this really was a temporal anomaly, why was only this person affected? Why at that specific moment, in that specific place? Coincidence? Marcus Chen, our psychologist, brought another angle. David, these types of events attract public interest because they seem unexplainable. But in reality, seeming unexplainable might be exactly what someone wants. So you're saying it's intentional? Think about it. If you want to cover up a murder, what's the best method? Destroy the evidence. But even better, make the event look so strange that no one looks for the real explanation. While everyone's saying temporal anomaly, no one's saying murder. The security camera footage showed this. The victim was walking down the hallway. The camera was recording at 30 frames per second. In one frame, the victim was there. In the next frame, they weren't. There was just a strange image distortion, like a pixel ripple. It didn't even last a second. Then the image returned to normal, but the victim was gone. Police initially thought it was a technical malfunction, but there was another camera at the end of that hallway, and that camera showed no one passing through. If the victim had kept walking, the second camera would have caught them, but it didn't. That's when the case file reached us. In November 2025, in Manhattan's Midtown Manor luxury apartment complex, a person disappeared. But this wasn't a normal missing persons case. The missing person was a 32-year-old software engineer. The lobby doorman said he last saw them at 11:47 p.m. that night. They got in the elevator, went up to the 12th floor, then were never seen again. The next morning, the victim's co-workers raised the alarm. They hadn't shown up to the office, weren't answering their phones. When the family arrived at the apartment, the unit was empty. Nothing was missing. Wallet, phone, computer were all there, but the person themselves was gone. Police launched an investigation. The first step was checking the security cameras. Midtown Manor had a comprehensive security system. Cameras everywhere. In the lobby, hallways, elevators, parking garage entrance. The officers reviewed the footage. The victim entered the lobby at 11:47 p.m., got in the elevator, went up to the 12th floor, exited the elevator, stepped into the hallway, and then they vanished. Literally vanished. On a security camera, a person disappeared. Literally. One frame they were there, the next frame they were gone. Only a corrupted image remained. The internet called it a temporal anomaly. Conspiracy theorists called it a matrix glitch. But the truth was far darker than any of that, and far more human. What city are you watching this video from today? This case will forever change your trust in digital reality. Please don't forget to subscribe and support us. I'm David Harrington, founder and lead investigator of Dark Case Files. The story I'm about to tell you today shows how technology can become a murder weapon,